of the Real Estate Investors Hub podcast. Today, we're back with my co host here.
I'm Luis Ramos.
And we have a very special guest today.
Todd Kirkhoff for Action Takers Only.
My name is Caleb Daniels, and yeah, so today we're just gonna kind of get to know Todd a little bit better, figure out what type of investing he's doing and what he can share for us. So yeah, how's it going, Todd? What's going on, man?
Good. How are y'all doing?
Awesome.
We're doing great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Cool deal. So what's been going on?
Yeah, tell us, man. What do you got going on? What type of investing do you do, and what can you bring to the people watching?
What can I bring to the people watching? Well, I can teach them about networking right now. That's where I've been shining a little bit more, I guess you can say. My investing skills haven't ripened enough to bless me with a deal yet, so I'm still working on it.
All right.
Been in it for about 7 months and still working on it, but I've been chasing a couple things. I've had shiny object. I've been dealing with the fear issues. There's a lot of fear in mindset, so
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely understand what you mean.
Yeah. Well, that's what's been happening, dealing with mindset issues. And I was I don't know, were y'all on Pace's Zoom this morning?
I wasn't able to make that one. No.
Oh man, you missed it, man. Oh, I'm glad I was on it. It's exactly what I needed to hear, because I realized I'm not the only one suffering from this, and successful people also suffer from negative thoughts and emotions. And I had this bad misconception that once you have success, that stuff tends to go away and you don't have to deal with it anymore.
No, sir.
That's not
I think it's
true.
a lot like working out. Like you hit the gym. I mean, even though you were a success, 10 years ago, you still have to make your reps.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a constant evolution.
Absolutely.
So Todd, tell us, man, what influenced you to kind of get into the real estate space and get near and here? What provoked you to get in?
What provoked me to get in? Pace Morby. But I thought, when I first when I first saw Pace Morby, I thought he was another one of the just the full of shit people on I'm gonna be all honest. Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw him. There was this Go Getter Family Guy. There was some other ones I saw all talking about Sub 2 and creative finance. It sounded real interesting, but I didn't know if it was real. So I've never pursued anything in real estate before. I do some investing, but I do it in the stock market and mess a little bit with crypto, but kind of keep that under. That's small. I don't mess with crypto too much. I don't trust it too much. But real estate was always something I wanted to get into. So I started seeing, I've been watching videos, thought about wholesaling for years, but I was scared. A fear has stopped me from doing a lot over the years. I told somebody else, it stopped me from doing a lot. I would look at the videos and be just like, no, I don't have the money. I always would come up with an excuse. I don't have the money. Now, what I like about Luis is the first Sub 2 meetup I met Luis, and he was like, well, how come you haven't put a house under contract yet? And I was like, well, that's a good question. I have absolutely no idea. And so I went and tried. I went and started trying to do that, and quickly realized how much I don't know in this space. And then because they were like, hey, you need a proof of funds for the first one I tried to, and I got a proof of funds from Abraham Gray. And I don't think the real estate agent bought it. So when I sent her the so yeah, they quickly kind of just kept blowing me off. So that's how I just started into this last year, looking into real estate, something I've always wanted to do. So once I started Pace, and why I chose Pace, why I finally chose Pace, was a friend of mine named Michael Hayes. He joined Sub 2 back when Pace was just starting it. And I had saw a post that Michael Hayes did on Facebook about turning a house that he had just into an Airbnb with the help of the Sub 2 community. So I called him up and I'm like, what the hell? If I'd have known you'd been, doing this for the last couple of years, or if I'd have known, I saw Pace last year, I've been watching him for a year. If I'd have known he was legit, I would have joined a year ago,
Uh-huh.
So that's how I started in it. So I'm just getting started and learning all I can.
So we talk a lot about Sub 2 on this channel and the community within Sub 2. If you could just tell us a little bit, or tell the viewers what comes with Sub 2. So you joined the mentorship. What comes with that?
Yeah,
What
tell
do you
us
gain?
about Pace's
Mentorship.
Hell yeah, I will tell you all about it. Right. Pace's mentorship is teaching about creative financing and buying houses via Subject 2. That means taking over the existing payments from the seller, keeping the mortgage in the seller's name and turning the home's deed into the buyer's name. So basic, that's the gist of it. I'm not too great at explaining it yet, not like Andrew. He's real smooth with it.
Yeah, he's
But
good.
that's it, and it sounds real interesting because what drew me to it is me being a working Joe all my life and struggling to get by it sometimes. I always use the excuse of not having money to get into real estate, and this kind of took that excuse away. If you can really do it like this, and that takes that excuse away, right? And that's so I was looking. I kept watching those videos and started thinking I got to figure out how to do that. And then when Michael Hayes told me about it, that was it. So Pace's community, it's way more than a community and a mentorship. When I first joined, I thought, okay, cool, I'm going to get this cool mentorship. I'll get to do a lot of Zooms with Pace and maybe a couple other people. I thought it would be more hands-on, or you'd be a lot more involved. I didn't know really much about the community at the time. So there's a whole lot involved, and then you have the side group here in Houston, or in a lot of cities, the Power Hour. So I found out about that right away. As soon as I joined, I think Michael did tell me about Power Hour. So I looked it up on Facebook and found out, and then went to one of those right away. And then, yeah, completely blown away. It's not just a mentorship. I mean, there's a community. You have, he has his programs. He has certain programs. He teaches you about lending. He teaches you about, buying. Now they started a new thing about purchasing businesses called Zero Down. So it's not just a community, but the community itself is well worth what he charges to get in. Just the community. If he didn't provide any other information, just the community and how everybody interacts is well worth it.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And let's go back and talk about the Houston Power Hour. I mean, that's the one that we all go to here. I mean,
tell the viewers about Power Hour.
Yeah,
Houston Power Hour, man. It's Power Hour. All right, Power Hour. It gives you the power to get through the week. That's why I look at it. That's how I call it Power Hour. Because man, the energy you get from the people there, the vibe you get from the people there. You don't have to know anything and be a guru. You can go in there and you're not going to get shunned, pushed away, or anything. The people have been absolutely amazing. I love Power Hour. It was sad. I was kind of bummed when I had my son's soccer, season, so I didn't get to go on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting to go back. I'm getting a recharge. So it's a great recharge.
So if viewers want to come to Power Hour, how they could find it?
Power Hours every Saturday. Just you look it on the Facebook group, and they announce it's at different title companies. Usually we have Patent Title Company, Fidelity, and there's a couple other places they do.
And we'll add it into the description below and make sure that we put that in there for you guys to join.
Hell yeah, Fidelity. And what was they had? Goosehead? Was that Goosehead?
Yes, Goosehead Insurance.
Yeah, and Goosehead Insurance, they just started doing it at. And then where's the other place we do that
Fidelity and Patent Title.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, man, you mentioned the mentorships and different videos that you watch. Are there any books that you like to read, or what was your favorite book that you would recommend everybody to read?
Favorite book is here. I got it right back here. It's called How to.
Bring it. Yeah, bring it up.
Hold on, just a second. Let me.
This is one of my friends and influence people.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. So great book, especially great book, especially if you're an introvert, and you're not really good on the communication side. And I'll be honest with you, I've never been good on the communication side my whole life. So that's just how it's been. So I've had to learn some new skills to try and make this happen, because being an introvert, this isn't going to work too well.
Yeah.
So another good book too I just started was spin selling. That spin selling. So
Uh-huh.
Jeff Smith always recommends that book, so I bought that one and I just started that one, and that one's been a pretty good book so far. So
Awesome, man.
Yeah, Todd, going back to the fear mindset that we're discussing, I think that one of the things that I discovered was that if I start meditating and really get into meditation for a good 30 minutes a day, my fears go away. It's as if like my fears or negativity or negative, it goes away. It's magical. Maybe you
isn't
should
it?
try it out.
I do. I'm just not consistent with it. That's the problem. I've been certain areas I'm better being consistent. Certain areas I'm not. So finding the time to meditate in the morning, I get rushed. I start my day out. That would be the best time for it. But
Right. So
it's consistency and it's
right, Todd, and it kills there's no fear. Like, or at least it calms me. It calms me.
calms you.
And then I just go ahead with it.
I could say when I do it, I can notice a difference. But on most days, I get going and just get going and kind of forget about things. So I have too much stuff. I wake up and I already have stuff on my mind. So I need to learn to stop and do that, because right when I wake up and thinking, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and it's just like,
Give
yeah,
yourself some time to yourself at the start of the day, and then you can get into it.
right.
Right. So yeah, man, you do a lot of networking. Tell us about how you go about doing that. I mean, do you go to certain events? What do you, I know you do the Power Hour, but what else do you do for networking?
Yeah, when I can, I've gotten to a couple of the events, and mostly I'm using my podcast and my Facebook group for Action Takers Only. So when I got into Sub 2, also did Pace Morby's Project Forward Challenge, or whatever he wants to call it. And that's still going on. So the part of it was to do this podcast, to start your YouTube channel, to establish a presence online. So I see the necessity of that, because it's a very easy way in today's world for networking, and it's proven to be a very good tool. So for networking, all this stuff. So I see why he has put it to use, and so that's why I've been busting ass at it. This is the best way I know how to network. I'm kind of was a computer geek, so I like messing with some of this stuff too, the techie side of stuff. I like messing with it, if you don't, So it's kind of fun. Putting it all together was fun, and I didn't think it would be. When he first told me do a podcast, I was like, oh shit, man, I don't want to do that. Do a YouTube channel.
You don't have to make names, but who's an interesting person you've met?
Who? Oh, I've met so far a bunch, man. I was surprised because Abraham Gray gave me an interview, and then Alexis Morgan, yeah, and then Chai, and all sorts of, it's. I've been surprised. So when Pace says he'll give me an interview, or I asked him once I started, I was like, hey, to keep me motivated, I want to schedule you a year from now. And he said yes, but so I sent him a date, but he hasn't confirmed the date yet. So I'm gonna have to start.
You need to show some deals, man.
Yeah, I need to get some deals so I'll be, he can talk to me more. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to me because I don't do enough. I'm not a good example.
No, you're doing great, man. So
No,
doing what you do with the podcast and your networking, what is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned throughout the whole process? I know there's a lot of things that can go wrong, go right, but you learn lessons from everything. So what is something that you could say that you learned from the process?
vetting people. I'm still having to learn about that, vetting people, and then signing like if I'm going to do a connector role, if I'm playing connector role, which seems to be I've been trying to do more with, especially with this, is sign contracts, get a contract and have things signed first. So when I first started doing the podcast and this or the group too, I had someone that's not in Sub 2 bring in a couple deals, and they're like needing private money lenders. So I was trying to connect them with that and kind of that all went haywire. But it was a learning. It was
What did you learn?
yeah. I learned. Yeah, learn, get the contracts and vet people, look into people more and see what really going on, and then ask more questions. I didn't ask enough questions, so really need to know what you're doing before you get into these deals. And pace. That was another thing on pace things today. Yeah, there's one guy got into a deal and didn't do the training, and yeah, so it's good to fail forward, but couldn't hurt too.
So, I know that you haven't had the chance to get through your first deal yet, but if you want to, you can tell the viewers what you might be looking for, and we'll drop your, your social medias and whatnot, contact info, so that they might be able to bring that to you. So, if you don't mind, just
Right. Well, I was looking to start wholesaling, and that's where I'm still. I'm having I'm calling him my battle buddy now, a guy named Josh Grimmett. He's in South Carolina, I believe. I talk with him a lot. He's helping me with the group, but I got to get focused on what I really want to do. I started in sub 2, and I just grabbed the avatar. I think most people do is direct to seller or direct to agent, integrator or visionary. We want to be something great. We want to be the head guy, and so I went with that. So that's what I've been doing. But I'm realizing, I don't like cold calling. It kind of sucks. And
yeah.
and I don't know that I could probably get to a closer, but I need to have more conversations. So I've been looking at connector role. I tend to do. I talk to a lot of people, and I'm meeting people all over the place. So that'd be a good thing to do. But then again, how do you make money with it? Learning all these roles in sub 2 has been like, okay, I'm still trying to learn, where do I fit in? So I thought about doing wholesaling. Hearing some people saying wholesaling is struggling right now. They're having hard times or whatever. So I don't know. And then there's the whole zero down thing came in. So now I'm thinking, well, okay, I got shiny object syndrome, which is
Yeah, I was about to say, you got the shiny object syndrome.
so now I'm like, okay, well, zero downs there. Do I want to buy businesses? And after having an interview with Alexis Morgan and her view on it, I was like, I see your point, and I see she's like, yeah, I think you should buy the businesses first, and then park your money in real estate second.
So yeah, guys, that's one of the things about sub 2 is that whenever you join, there is too many things to do. There is way too much stuff, different
every day,
different pathways you can go. So personally, what I have found that works for me, and I find one thing and go towards that, is door knocking pre-foreclosures. So
There
that's
you
the
go.
only thing that I focus on whenever I go to watch a video. I go to that section and I don't focus on anything else in sub 2, because then I'm gonna shiny object syndrome. I see that, it's like, oh, that.
And I have the opposite
cool.
problem.
Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. I want to know everything, so I listen to everything, and then Caleb's like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, yeah, where are you at? You sending me these deals on tax liens. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Right. And then it really throws you for a loop. And you got someone like me, I'm like a squirrel. It's like nuts. Okay. What? Okay. Yeah. And I've gotten distracted. So it's been a problem. That shiny objects and my fear has been a problem. So yeah.
And Luis and Proscia have definitely helped me with that part, the fear aspect. Instead of getting in your head about it, just go out and do the thing. Is really what that's all it takes. Just go out and do what needs to be done. And if you fail, so what? You learn something from it. But if you
right, I got this one thing pounded in my head. Is like, if I fail, it's gonna hurt. And I mean, not just hurt physically,
it's gonna hurt, but I mean, it's gonna hurt in a good
But
way.
if you meditate, it hurts.
Right. Right. But I'm afraid of that hurt too. So yeah. No, I get it. And see, Lewis is doing it. He's out there. He's got, how many deals you got? He's got his golden hat on, I see too. So that means he's done some deals. So that's he's out there doing it. And you got someone that's doing it. Stick with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered my hat in. It should be coming in sometime. I don't know when, but
yeah. So how many deals y'all got under your belts?
I've got one.
You gotten one? Is it creative?
Yeah. What's that?
Was it a creative?
Yeah, creative deal. It was both of our first creative deal. Subject to.
It was my first subject too. Those 5 raps, right?
But yeah, he's done the raps, but first sub 2 deal. Right?
All right.
But, yeah, and then we just got another pretty hot lead we got going on right now. He sent me earlier today that I went and door knocked. had a pretty good conversation with him, so we'll be getting back. I'm leaving out to Arizona here on the
Don't go.
on the 12th.
Don't go.
But whenever I get back, I'll go and hit him back up, and we'll probably tour the property and whatnot. But it's a good deal, so we're working on that one right now.
Well, cool. That sounds exciting.
Yes, sir.
So what's your, so I don't have a buy box yet. I was thinking if I got into single family homes, I'm still debating single family, multifamily. I think I more want to do multifamily, and with the way the market's going in Texas and insurance rates. So I still debate a lot. What do I want to do?
Mhm.
I want to buy and hold. I know that sooner or later, my goal is I want to be a buyer, and I want to be a connector. So those are what I'm shooting for. How to get there is still, I haven't figured it out yet, but we're working on it. And I don't give up easy.
Conversation with George.
Huh?
Have
Yes.
you had a conversation with George?
Yes.
Man.
George is going to help me on in our group. We're going to get him to do some teaching about connecting, his connector role.
Yeah,
How to
yeah.
do-
The master connector.
He's the
He knows
master.
everybody.
I know he knows everybody. Yeah, he does. George is he's a personality. So that's like, he's just got he's gonna, when I first joined Sub 2, okay, that's George stood out. He's got a personality.
Yeah.
He
And
kind
for
of
viewers that don't know, George Pettis, he's one of the guys over at the Power Hour. He's a connector. He does all types of deals going on. So.
And he's on my radar to get him on this podcast.
Yep.
Get him on. He's a great guy. George Paredes, love him, man.
Definitely learned something from him.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, so he knows a lot of the people around, and yeah, he's perfect connector. He's perfect for that role, and I think I just want to help build him up in it too. So anything I can do to help him out is what I want to do. Anything, if I could ever help y'all out, with your podcast stuff, let me know. I'm here to help. Anything I can help.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, same as you. Let's see. So yeah, you have your podcast going on. We're near the end of the year now. Don't have too much time left. We're about to start the new year. Do you have any goals left for the podcast, real estate investing, whatever it may be? Do you still have some to finish for the rest of the year, or have you already started planning for the next year?
Planning for next year. I started planning for next year because this year I started in Sub 2 late. So my goals got shifted many times. They're still shifting, and I've made ones that I didn't really expect to do. So like this, the group and the podcast, that's been something I didn't really expect. It just kind of came up. So I had my plans, and they don't always work out the way I want them to. I thought when I got into Sub 2, it'd be okay. Like, everybody's doing deals within 60 days. I'll have a deal in 60 days and I'll be good, but no, I had a lot to learn, man. I came in here, green as hell with no experience. People are talking about PML, HML, and okay, what's all that?
HTML.
Yeah.
I know HTML. I can do the website. Is that like JavaScript, So I can do that stuff, but I didn't know, real estate has, I don't know. It's been something I've always wanted to do, but it's always been something that scared the hell out of me. So now I got to face it. I'm hitting my 50s, and I feel it's just like, I got to face this and conquer this now. Cause like, it was the same way with investing in stock market. When I started doing investing in stock market, scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what the hell I was, didn't know what the hell to do. Didn't know how to do it. How do you make a trade? How do you find out what stocks to trade? And then I got in, I figured, well, man, I overthought that for too many years. It's really not that hard. So I'm doing the same with real estate.
Gotta get out and do it.
Yeah. And that's it. So I want to hook up with you. If you're going door knocking, I need to hook up with you and go door knocking.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm going out with a group actually. Whenever I get back home on the 18th, I have a group of about 5 people that are coming down to Beaumont, and I'm going to show them how to door knock, and we're going to go out and hit some properties. So yeah, definitely we can set something up if you want.
Please keep me informed. If I can make that, I'd like to try and make that. Yes.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
We'll film you.
Yeah, we'll get it filmed, put it on the podcast.
Hell yeah, we'll go out and do it live. We'll go out and do content while we're out there. That's what we need to be doing anyway.
Pull up to the person's door with a big camera.
Yeah.
Let me buy your house.
Welcome to the For Action Takers Only and the Creative Investors Hub podcast. What do you think about you gonna sell us your house?
Todd, and I have a question that I always like to ask. So going back in time, Todd Hirschkopf, who just, I guess, going back, who just joined Sub 2 7 months ago. What advice would you tell your young 7 months ago? What advice or would you tell them? No, that you're a
Get
little
over the fear, man. Get over the fear. Just do it, kind of like what you did. Because anybody, like when you came in, Lewis, and told me, man, just go put a house under contract. So I started trying to go put a house under contract next few days, and realized, okay, I got some stuff to learn. But it pushed me. I would say get you somebody. If you're coming in new, hook up with somebody right away that's doing it. You see doing it, and just be a pain in their ass, be a thorn in their side. Or not. You don't have to do it like that, but hit them up.
Yeah, stay in contact with them. I mean, if you're trying to make it work, you got to talk to them and build that connection. So that
I'm learning the most talking with people. Talking with Abraham Gray, talking with Alexis Morgan. She's 20 years old, man. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's only 20 years old, and she's already doing the deal, already owns a business, looking to buy another one. It's just like, holy moly. I couldn't stop thinking about McDonald's at 20 years old. I was still thinking about McDonald's. So, it was like
in college. I was making no money. I was just going in debt.
Yeah, it's beer and broads. Yeah. That's about it. So, I was at music school. I went to Hollywood. I took off to Hollywood, so I was trying to be a rock star. So
you gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
I saw your tattoos.
That's my history. I went to try, and I graduated high school, and I took off the day I graduated to Hollywood and went to music school there. And
what'd you play?
Play guitar. I got one
nice.
back here. Yeah, it's sitting over there.
Nice.
But yeah, I still play a little bit. But no, I did it for years. I did it for many years, and then in 99, I got my first actual job outside of music. I always did music up until 99. So then I started doing other things, and
what was your favorite band?
Huh?
What was your favorite band?
My favorite band? Oh, I have
in those
times I'd say like Metallica. I was a headbanger. I like Metallica, Megadeth. Those were my two. I think two. My favorite guitar player was Steve Vai. So, and then Whitesnake, because he played with Whitesnake, and so Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and Eric Johnson. I was just obsessed with those three guitar players, and I tried to emulate for many years. And I went some places. I got to do some things with music. It treated me well for a few years, and then I just decided it wasn't stable and really the lifestyle I wanted anymore in 99. So,
well, let's make you a rock star then.
Yeah, real estate, bro.
Rock star and real estate.
There you go.
Right? Let's do it. I'm all for it.
So, avatar for the Sub 2 series.
Yeah. So I think playing has helped me being able to do this a little bit more, because I do even getting in front of the camera, I get nervous as shit. And I would on stage. When I played on stage, I'd get really nervous before and then just go pull off the show. I never knew how I did it. It just happened.
Awesome, man. So there's a lot of problems that come up in your business in general. What might be something that people, the viewers or us or anybody can do to help you out and get where you want to go?
Good question. I mean, everybody's been available. Like all the Sub 2 community people, they're there to answer questions. They've been there to help you. I mean, even you guys, you've been there to be supportive and a positive influence. And that goes a million miles. That takes somebody a million miles. So you're doing it. I'll just say you're doing it. So you also are doing a podcast to get the word out there, so help people out. And I think that's what it's about. Morgan or Alexis Morgan kept saying the whole time, or not the whole time. One thing that sticks out with me is she always says is your network is your net worth. So I saw her podcast with Pace when I first started doing the podcast, and that really just stuck out and stuck with me. And so I think that's what this is important, doing this kind of thing, networking with social media. I think it's very important.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I'm out of questions here. If you have any questions for us you'd like to ask,
Sure. Let's trade. No. So how long are y'all? Well, tell me about y'all. How long have you been doing it?
Good.
Lewis, go ahead. Start.
I started real estate with my wife 5 years ago.
Okay.
We were doing the fix and flip, the burr, because we used to listen to lots of bigger pockets. And then, as you know, interest rates started going higher. So I was like, oh, holy shit. This is not working.
Right.
We used to be able to sell a house, I remember, in 24 hours. That's how hot the market was here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listed, boom, sold. And then as the interest rates started getting higher, I was like, holy shit. We started sitting on inventory. Our houses weren't selling, even though they were beautiful, fully renovated. So, I got my thinking cap on. I first, actually, I started listening to Ron LeBron. And he was all about creative finance, sub-2, owner financing. He's huge. He's the grandpa. He's the grandfather of it all. And I saw, and then one of the people he interviewed was Pace Morby.
Mm.
And Pace Morby in the interview said, yes, sir, you taught me everything I know. And so, lo and behold, then I chased down Pace Morby and I saw his YouTube videos, and then the rest is history. And then I got a membership, and here I am.
So how long have you been in sub-2 then?
6 months.
6 months. So you joined right about the same time I did, May, June?
Yep. So we did 5 wraps, and my sub-2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were one deal a month. That's
trying to do one deal a month?
I mean, that has to make sense. I mean, there's no pressure, but.
Right. So how's it going? You've gotten 6 under your belt, right?
Huh?
You've gotten 6 under your belt, so it looks like you've been doing it.
Yep.
All right.
I'm happy. I want to keep growing, so we're trying to find, right now, what we're trying to find is PMP, private money partners. So you bring your funds, we partner up, you get 50% equity, we'll fund a deal, we'll try to rehab it, and we'll try to find the disposition to us, and we'll try to create a machine out of it.
All right. So you're going to do the private money partnering.
Yep.
I'm still learning about this. I was like, okay, you got PML and HML. What's the difference between private money and hard money?
Hard money is institutional, and private money is more of like your uncle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, hard money it's going to be a corporation most of the time. They're going to want 4 points just to look at you, just to put an application. They're going to get 4% of the deal. And then they're going to charge, 13 or 16% interest monthly, interest only. It's usually 6 months, and then you got to refinance out, and you got to pay them off. Well, private money lender, like he was saying, it's a private individual. It's a non-corporate entity usually, so they're mom and pop. You talk to them. They're usually reasonable people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a point. I mean, some of my PMLs that I've encountered don't charge me points. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your relationship with them as well. I mean, like, if they trust you or if this is some person that you just met, it really depends on how it's going to go and how much they're going to charge for you. Usually it's going to be a lot less than if you go through a hard money, which is why everybody's trying to get private money for their deals.
Huh. All right. See, I'm learning a lot with private money and stuff like that. See, back when I was living as a musician, people talk about, hey, I got some private money to lend you. I don't want to take your money. No.
What?
I don't know. Those are the type of people you didn't want to take their money. No. No, you didn't want their money. Trust me, it would be a problem. That was scary. That's why I guess I'm scared of private money. And no, I don't want that. I'll owe you way too much.
And then
always strings.
The last thing we discovered, thanks to Pace, because I didn't know, it's called private money partnerships. So that's where you bring somebody else brings all the money to the table. They usually get 50% of the deal, and then we split the difference.
So you're cutting them in on the deal. So
right.
They're just not going to make like any kind of just a fee for it. They're going to get cut in on equity or something.
And the beauty of that model is that there's no money from us into the deal. They bring all the funds into the deal, and it's upside potential for them. Because the problem, if you really think about for hard money, their problem is that they fund the deal and that's it, and then they get paid back. So it's not a recurrent thing. But while as a PMP, they're going to be there for the long run, for years to come.
Okay.
So it's more
Oh.
long term.
So how do you find these private money partners? How are you finding them? Are you finding?
Networking.
Yeah.
A lot of real estate network. Posted on Discord and Facebook groups.
He's got a whole buyers list that he posted, a nationwide buyers list. Yeah. Have y'all been utilizing that?
No.
No.
I don't know about it.
No, I got my buyer right here.
But you said, and he's doing wraps, huh? So that's your exit strategy is on most
No,
wraps?
only one. I mean, I'm not a one-trick pony. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to rent.
Okay.
I love rent.
So are you holding any properties?
Yeah, I got a couple still rentals.
Okay. So are they just regular rentals?
Yeah, nothing fancy.
All right. What are you planning? What do you want to do with your business? Are you gonna grow just the rental business, buy and hold, or what's your goal there?
Yeah, and buying them subject to now.
Yeah. Okay. So you just want to get as many doors as you can, huh?
Yep, as long as it makes sense.
Are you going to look into since you're in sub 2, are you interested in the zero down thing that just started, or you don't seem
bandwidth.
you're able to stay focused. That must be your superpower. You can just like all this other stuff bounces off of you. I'm just doing this. I'm going to stay doing.
Well, I mean, I feel like I want to do at least 100. So if I can do 100 deals, then I'll be like, all right, then I'll do something else. You know?
Then you'll try something new. Okay. All right. Well, what about you?
Oh, how I got started?
Tell me your story. Tell us about
So,
introduce yourself.
I kind of got into the real estate space. I've always been like kind of entrepreneurial. So like I've done different like business strategies and like just different things throughout my high school career and middle school. So in like middle of high school, I kind of started getting into real estate, and I don't know where I found it. It was probably on like a YouTube video or something. I saw, and I started getting into real estate, and just watching videos, and I had discovered like Pace Morby and Jamil Damji and all these different people, and I was just kind of trying to soak everything in. So like back then, I kind of had that shiny object syndrome as well, where I went from this. It's like, oh no, this is the best. Now this is the best, and I need to do this. I need to focus on that. So that's where I was. But I actually ended up after I don't know where I was here. Graduated high school. This was what 5 months ago, so whatever it was. And then I'm in college now, and I was doing homework, or sorry, let me go back. I was in college, and I had found a potential deal that I thought was a deal here in Beaumont, and I was at Rayo studying for one of my classes, and I told the story in one of the other podcasts. But I was studying at Rayo's, and then I saw this guy and some other people walk in, and they go up to some of their booth being loud as hell over there talking about real estate. And I heard him.
I didn't have my hat at the time.
He didn't have his hat. They were talking about Gator, talking about stuff too. And I'm hearing this, and at the time I was in Gator, so I was like, okay, these people right here, I need to talk to them. So I'm over here packing up my stuff, and I'm like, okay, gotta go talk to them. So I get up and I go over to their table, and I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? And kind of pitch my little deal that I had going on, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you with it. Pull up a chair. We're having a little meeting over here. So I pulled up a chair. We stayed there for an hour or however long it was. It was a great time. Learned a lot from them, and getting the connection was probably the best thing that I've done in my real estate career so far. It's just started, but I mean that's probably the best thing that I've done, along with joining Sub 2, which he helped me, convince me to get into. So that's kind of how I got started into it, and just going through the mentorship, I found my niche and what I feel comfortable in doing, which is door knocking pre-foreclosures. And like I said before, he helped me kind of figure out that, or realize that you just need to go out and do the thing instead of, thinking about this, doing that, whatever. Just go in and do it. And, if you fail, you fail. If you succeed.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do now. I just door knock pre-foreclosures. That's pretty much it. I'll do some odd little things on the side. Like I had like a construction type thing that we had going on for another deal, and then I do some like connecting and whatnot. But that's mainly what I focus on, and that's what I do right now.
So how old are you?
I'm 19.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
half my age.
Oh man, yeah. You know, you young guys really piss me off. No, especially now, you young guys got a head on your shoulder. I was a complete freaking moron. You know, some of the stuff I wanted to do and thought about back then. You know, if I would have, you know, I had money. What's fucked up? You want to excuse my language? You want to know what's messed up? Is when I was I got an inheritance when I turned 18 because my real father died when I was really young. So I got an inheritance. I had prime opportunity to get into real estate then. And actually, my mother would always say, "You should buy a house. You should buy a house." What did I do? I wanted to go be a rock star.
Hey,
And now look what I'm doing.
now
I'm
you're a rock star.
I wanna buy a house.
You're gonna be a rock star, Tom.
now I want to buy a house. That's all I want to do is buy a house. So
Yeah. Awesome, man. I mean,
yeah, life is funny. Yeah. So, what's your goals then with it? 19 years old, just starting out. You really pissed me off with that. What are you going to do with it?
what's that?
What are you going to do with it?
What am I gonna do with?
With what you're learning? What are you going to do with it? What are your plans? What are your goals?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Short-term goal.
Really, right now, a lot of it is I'm learning as well. I still don't know. I know.
I mean, I feel like I know 2%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, 2%.
That's 2% more than I know. So.
So I'm really just at the point right now where I'm doing things, and you know I had a deal going on with him, and I'm going out and doing stuff. But while doing it, I'm soaking in the information instead of sitting like I was and say watching a video and doing this and learning that way. I'm actually taking the action and learning from mistakes and learning
For action takers
for
only.
action takers only.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going about learning right now, and I'm building my knowledge so that I'm able to more confidently come into, you know, say meetings and different things with sellers and be able to close a deal, you know, on the spot. So that's really where I want to be at. You know, one of my goals for next year is to be able to go into or like do the whole process myself, not like bring all the money, bring all this. Like I'll get JV partners and whatnot, but be able to go in, talk to the seller, close him or her, and then you know go through that whole process myself.
Right. That's a good. Yeah. That's what by next year I want to be able to get through the whole process and understand the whole process. I think that's one thing that holds me up a little bit is I don't know the whole process, man. I get to like right now I do cold calling, and if I got someone that said yeah, I'd be like, okay, now what?
Yeah. One thing though is, yes, we want to learn the full process, but every process is different. They're not going to be the same. You're going to have one deal, and you're never going to have that same deal again.
Oh shit!
No two deals are the same.
That's gonna mess me up.
Yeah.
Don't tell me
You're
that.
always going to have a problem with the deal. There's never going to be a perfect deal. You're always going to have something in there.
Well, no. Out of 5 raps I've done, only one was beautiful.
Smooth.
All 4 were fucking.
I bet. Were you pulling your hair out? Is that why you're wearing the hat? You got bald?
So 20% is not bad. I'll take it.
Right. So are y'all two gonna form a team? Are y'all building a team?
We're already a team.
We're a team.
You're a team knocking down deals together?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right. So what are you doing? Are you what are you starting out doing? Are you wholesaling the deals or?
So you talking to us or but one?
Yeah,
So we're
both.
taking them down.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna take them down.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then once we run out of money, we'll start wholesaling.
Yeah.
So who's you got a door knocker? You need a cold caller then for your team? You need someone to start cold calling or you get lists, let me know. I'll cold call for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he's got me running around out there in the heat and the cold, all the weather, and he's over there sitting in his office, and then you know,
And then you're
calls in and be like, "Oh, we got a deal. Okay, Caleb."
and you're putting together
Let me write the check real quick.
while he's all warm and I'm writing the check.
Yeah.
Go knock some more doors. We need more deals.
You're not done. You have 100 left.
Yeah, you're young. You can handle it. You need to be out in the cold and dealing with that stuff.
Yeah, it's all right. I like talking to the sellers.
Yeah, but if Caleb goes this way, like I can't believe, like by the time he's my age, holy shit,
Right. Think about it. I mean, really, yeah. I
he'll be
mean,
a billionaire. You know?
how old are you, Lewis?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 37.
37. See, I'm 52. Just imagine when he's my age. If you
You don't look it, man, for real.
Yeah, I thought you were my age.
Yeah,
bro.
I thought you were like 30 something.
it's gonna catch up to me and slap me around, but yeah, no, I'm 52. So,
Wow.
and that's when things. I think when I hit 50 is when things started changing. I started the fear not so much controlling me. I just decided to start doing and taking more action in certain things like this. So that's where it's like I don't really worry so much anymore about what everybody else thinks and yeah, failing. I failed enough in life. It doesn't. It's it's okay. So,
Right.
failed at enough things, and I've had to learn that it's not a bad thing to fail, because we've all go through that. I think where it's like you make a mistake, you do something wrong, and you beat yourself up, and it's no good. It's not a good thing. But failing is a good thing. It's a learning process, and that's how I got learned to
Right,
look.
right. Yeah. I mean, we've always, even in school, that's what you're taught whenever you fail, so you get a bad grade. Then that's bad on you. No, everybody, your teacher's mad at you, your mom's mad at you, whatever. So I think that's kind of something that has been programmed into our minds to think that way. However, failing is good. You learn from your failures. So I mean that's a good lesson to have learned.
Right. So have y'all started your LLCs? You got your LLCs going
Yes.
for your businesses, holding properties under the LLC?
Yes, sir.
Badass. Did you use Prime?
I use Prime.
No.
I had my before.
You've been doing it. Yeah. So when you and your wife started, you started doing the burn method. Is that what you said?
Yep.
And you did that, what, 5 years ago you started?
Yep.
How long did it take you to get your first house?
Actually, funny story. I bought my first investment house before we bought a house.
Okay.
So I already had a rental property secured,
And you're living in an apartment.
and I was living in an apartment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
had nothing to my. I had nothing. All I had to my name was my car. And I said, no, babe, I'm gonna buy some real estate, and then I'll buy you a house. Because the woman, a wife, she wanted a house right away. She wanted a big wedding right away. She wanted a car, a fancy car. I was like, no. Let's do an investment property. And then and when I closed on my first investment, I received, because I think it was an overage between. Anyway, I received $75, and it was the best $75 I've ever received because I did absolutely nothing for it. I just owned the property, and they wrote me a check. I was like, what? Great.
It made it all real right then. It made it all real for you too, right then and there. You made money doing it. It's like
$75 were the best, and then I looked back.
Never looked back. So and you just did with the burr. So on the second house, how did that work?
Okay, so that was the first house. The second house.
We got another story.
Because we said, okay, this is easy. Let's notch it up a level. So then we decided to do an entire fix and flip.
Okay.
We bought a house. It was an REO, so it was a real estate loan, and we used our money, and it was the learning experience because it was basically we did a new construction on it.
Oh yeah.
It was down to the studs,
You ripped it. Oh wow.
And we got screwed over by the contractor. Because we were brand new, what the hell? We didn't know anything, so we're like, let's get it done. So we got this contractor. Big red flag was they wanted money up front, and they were very adamant about receiving the funds before starting the project. And since we didn't know anything, we're like, yeah, give them the money. Yeah. You need more money next week. Yeah, what's the money? But nothing was getting done. At the end, we blew $35,000.
And nothing got done.
And I think they did some concrete. They poured some concrete. They put some A-frames, and that's it.
What?
Wow.
So, I mean, were you going in and like periodically checking?
Yes,
or?
and they were like, yeah, we'll be there. So anyway, we made the rule. So the lesson learned: never, ever, ever, ever will I ever pay upfront for any contract. You come, you do the job, and then you get paid. And I'm usually reasonable with my contractors. I'll give them 2 weeks. They have to work 2 weeks, and then Friday I'll pay them. So that's my new rule.
All right. So you learned that. So that was one thing Pace was going on this morning about the guy gave out 80,000 to the contractors and they didn't do, and he gave it all out at once. He said you didn't do a draw schedule or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Luis learned a $30,000 lesson there. You know.
And this is 5 years ago, so.
Wow. So all right, now I got to ask you. You come across your second house getting into this, and you get screwed like that. Most people would probably go, "Hey, I think I'm not going to do this again."
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
I think 35,000. That kind of hurts. Maybe I should try something else. But you went ahead and
Yeah. But I was listening to bigger podcasts at the time,
okay.
and I quickly realized that it's going to be a business write-off. So at the end of the year, it was a huge write-off for me. So.
Okay, so you used it as a write-off.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we found another contractor. We finished the job. It took us 9 months. Remember, it was a Harmony loan, so it was only 6 months. I had to get an extension, which means more fees. It was another 2 points. We lost.
I bet you were meditating a lot during that time, huh? That's where you learned to meditate.
I think our number was we lost 23,000, but
okay.
I was like, at least lesson learned. The biggest. It was good tuition.
Didn't kill you.
It didn't kill me.
Yeah. So see, that's the thing. I'd be like, well, if I lose 23,000, I think that's going to kill me. But no, so I got to.
And I discovered that we don't want to do the flip either. Like, we haven't been as successful with flips. Our more success is when we finish the job, we refinance it, we rent it, we allow 2 to 3 years to pass. By then, the market has increased so much, and then we do an exit, and then we're like, oh man, it was worth it.
Right.
So we haven't been as successful with flips, I would say. I think we're better off just holding the asset, wait a couple of years, and then do the exit.
Okay. That's a good. At least you got a plan. You do have a plan. So stay with him, man. He's 19. And he's already learned a whole lot, so he can guide you. You got a good head on your shoulders, man. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm pretty blown away by you young guys doing this now.
Thank you. Well, yeah, guys, that looks like it wraps up the podcast here. Thank you so much, Todd, for coming on. You great person. We're talking to you. You have a lot of stuff to say and bring to the podcast. So we really appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you all for doing it too, and this is a lot of fun. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Definitely.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Caleb Daniels.
I'm Luis Ramos.
And we have
Todd Kirkhoff.
Signing off. We'll see you guys later.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
All right, let me get this.